Joining us once again via the magic of ZoomTube from MetPro, here to answer all of your nutritional questions. It is Angelo. Hello.
Hi.
Hey guys, thanks for having me back.
Thanks for being back. Karen Smith has an interesting question. She says that she currently lives with an exchange student in her house who is a vegetarian. Now, Karen thought this was going to be great because she thought, oh, healthy food. Turns out the exchange student is picky, and now Karen has put on 7 pounds and she's having trouble getting back to her healthy eating. Oh, no.
Oh, Karen.
It's like, turns out while fried okra is technically vegetarian.
Right. Well, and that is the deal. And so vegetarian is absolutely, undisputedly a super healthy way to eat. But it is not something you can do casually. People that just do it casually and like, well, I'll wake up tomorrow and I'll figure out how to be a vegetarian one meal at a time. That doesn't work so well. It is becoming easier. I will admit it is becoming easier. Here in the States, we have more options than we ever have, but is still one of the most deliberate approaches you could take as far as accessibility. Takes a lot of advanced planning, and it is great if you can pull it off. But here's the thing.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, they might have more options where you in Missouri.
Not so much.
Yeah, in Missouri, vegetarian means your cow was grass fed.
Yeah, hear that too. I get it. I get it.
If you're lucky, you might get one of those burgers,
a Beyond Burger.
Yeah. That maybe.
So there's a lot of moving parts here. We could take this in a number of different directions. So the joke is, French fries and beer is vegetarian, right? So we can't automatically equate vegetarianism with weight loss. Now, when people are eating a lot of fruits and vegetables, the side effect of that is almost always it's replacing a higher calorie option. Therefore, it's not the vegetarian nature of the foods, it's the low calorie content of the foods that does often result in weight loss when we talk about vegetarianism. Now, on the flip side to that, and the counter argument is simply this: when we overconsume carbs, that can lead to weight gain. And so when you have basically 3 macronutrients, protein, fats, and carbohydrates that you're consuming, most people don't stare at their plate and say, okay, I have my protein here, I have my carbohydrates there, and this here is my fats. Most people just think, here's my protein and here's my carbs. The fats are kind of built in, right? They're in the dressing, they're in the meat, they're in the seasonings, they're just there. Well, what that ends up resulting in is when you remove the protein, how do you fill up? Well, you end up eating more of the carbohydrates. And some people can just have an extra portion of green beans and they're good. Tom and I aren't those people.
Yeah. It's like, those people are called sociopaths.
So what ends up happening is it becomes an inadvertent high carb diet for people who are not rehearsed in doing it. Now, again, it does not have to be that way. So for Karen, what I would recommend is, if you like protein, cook by macro and cook a complex carbohydrate. So things like brown rice, sweet potato, oatmeal, these are all carbohydrates that are known to be good for weight loss also because they're high in volume and low in calories for the volume consumed. So they're going to be very filling. But you could cook vegetables or have some fruits and vegetables and eat some of both. But what you can also do is you can keep some protein on hand that is not a carbohydrate. And you could do some vegetarian sources of protein, but you can also have a mixture so that you can have a little bit. And just think of it real simple. This doesn't need to be rocket science. Chop down 30% of the carbs you're eating at that meal and replace with 30% more protein. And vegan or vegetarian protein sources, the problem is people think, oh, well, a lot of people say that those protein sources aren't as good. Don't think of it not as good. They're great. The issue is they're going to be more monotonous. Is you can really list on one hand, there are only so many sources of protein from non-animal products. if you're the type of person that doesn't mind having 2 or 3 items in quantity frequently and that doesn't bother you, then great. But if you're trying to get protein and you like variety, that's where having some lean, healthier animal protein, or I'm a big fan of fish personally, is a great thing to mix in if you're not a vegetarian. And if you are, it's beautiful what they have now as far as vegan and vegetarian supplementary protein. That's what I take in the mornings. I take a vegan protein shake along with my carbohydrates and fats, and that works really good for me. So these are some simple ways that you don't need to eliminate or have a knee-jerk reaction, Karen, and take out all these good things that you may be doing. But if you can just replace a little bit of the carbohydrates with a little bit more protein, at least at lunch and dinner, you may find that that helps you out. And then there's the common just sense things. And that is, if your version of being vegetarian is eating a bunch of mac and cheese, which is, and I can tell you, there are some vegetarians out there that's their way of being a vegetarian, not vegan, but vegetarian, you will gain weight.
Success.
Nobody's going to say, oh, I gained weight because I ate too much fruits and vegetables, right? That's unlikely. That would be a very unique scenario that happens. So if the bulk of your food volume is coming from fruits and vegetables, you're going to be safe. But I'm reading between the lines and guessing that you may have a vegan on your hands who also likes things that aren't just fruits and vegetables. And that's why there's been the issue in your house. So balance.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for all that. And if people would like fitness nutrition tips tailored for them, where can they find you?
Absolutely. MetPro.co/TCO.
Wonderful. Thank you.